I remember the first time I saw Lisa from Lisa and the Code Jam. It was for the video for I wonder if I can take you home. And she had that bandana on, she had the hair over her eye, and she had that pink top on. And Lisa was well built. And it's like, oh my God, I'm in love. I don't know who she is. I'm in love. And my mom was funny. My mom was walking through because the video was on BET. And my mom was like, wow, look at those bazooms. It's like, yeah, mom. Shout out to my mom. But yeah, Lisa was called Jam. And I wonder if I could take you home. And the song's written and produced by Full Force. And then they had Can You Feel the Beat? And then All Cried Out, which featured Full Force as well. And then you had the second album, Spanish Fly, which you had All Cried Out. Which you had Head to Toe, Lost in Emotion. Like the stuff that Full Force was doing for Lisa and Cold Jam was just crazy. In a lot of ways, Full Force don't get enough love because, we talk about Jimmy and Jam and Terry Lewis and Alien Babyface and Teddy Riley. But before Teddy Riley, because Teddy Riley gets a lot of credit for merging hip hop and R&B as he should, because Teddy Riley was great with Keith Sweat and Guy and Bobby Brown. But Full Force was doing that before Teddy. Like the first time I heard Full Force's production was UTFO's Roxanne Roxanne. That song was a monster. And then when Full Force dropped their album, they had songs like Alice. They had songs like Unselfish Lover, where they took Billy Squires' The Big Beat. I got the big beat. So, man, Full Force is great. Underrated producers. I'm saying this because Lisa had a biopic on Lifetime, and I think it came on the beginning of February. And I was like, okay, that's cool, because I think I heard about it, but I forgot about it. Well, I guess in the biopic, she didn't mention Full Force. Lisa, we wouldn't be here with Lisa if the drummer from Full Force didn't see her in a club. So I guess the story is their drummer went to this club that she went through all the time. He saw her, he liked her look, and invited her to audition to Full Force. And I guess Full Force liked her and put her together with Cold Jam. And that's how that started. And then that's how you got Lisa on Cold Jam. And even on the debut album is entitled Lisa and Cold Jam with Full Force. There's no type. With Full Force is on the album. So not even mentioning Full Force at all in a biopic is crazy. So I guess Lisa took a lot of flack and she defended her biopic. And she said this movie was about the Lisa story and her story with Cold Jam and the sisterhood with Tony Minaj, I believe. The focus for this story was about Lisa's journey from her point of view. Absolutely. Listen, it is about Lisa's story. Absolutely. And if all she did with Cold Jam, for Full Force was be in the studio and they worked together and maybe they toured a little bit, but they worked together in the studio, that's totally fine. It is Lisa's story. But to not have any mention of Full Force at all, how hard is it to find three buff brothers and slash some Jerry curl wigs on them? One with a bandana, of course. That'd be Paul Anthony. And just have them in there. You got to grab Big E from WWE and said that he was bow-legged Lou. Because I said, come on. This is like having the Diana Ross story and not mentioning Berry Gordy or even Smokey Robinson for writing those songs. Now, fine. If they don't have Holla and Doja Holland, even though they wrote songs for Diana Ross and the Supremes, okay. But this is like having the Diana Ross story and not having Berry Gordy. This is like having the Janet Jackson story and not have any mention of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. How can you possibly do that? Even if all you had was Full Force in the studio and they just had said a couple of words like, hey, Paul Anthony, hey, bow-legged Lou, like, hey, how's it going? Or just have her come in the studio when they audition her, that's fine too. We know it's not the Full Force story. But how can you completely just X them out and then catch an attitude? Like, hey, it's the Lisa story. Yeah, we know this. And again, I'm actually fascinated to watch because I don't know Lisa's full story. So I think it's a good idea. But see, this is the problem I have of Lifetime. Lifetime has had a bad habit when they do biopics, is that they uplift the women, which I totally understand is a women's network. But if there's a strong male influence at all, they kind of tamper it down, where the women did this all by themselves, or they were the main force behind their success, and it was like no dudes ever, or they have very little influence. Newsflash, Lifetime, I hate to break this to you. Some of our favorite female artists, most of the time, for maybe the exception of the Go-Go's and a few others, there is a strong male influence. Diana Ross, Berry Gordy, Janet Jackson, Jim Jam and Terry Lewis, TLC, Jermaine Dupri, LA and Babyface has the label. Like, I know they want women, I know they want to uplift women, show the power of women, the motivation of women. I totally understand it. But a lot of these artists that we see today that's been successful, there is a guy as a writer, as a producer, as a manager, as a label head who had a major influence on their career. I know, shocker, right? The dude's actually helping out women. So I get it. So I understand if you want to uplift Lisa, and this is a story, but you can take, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes out of what, a 2-hour movie and not mention Full Force. Full Force did all of her major hits except for one, and that was Let the Beat Hit 'Em. Fantastic song. So they didn't do that song, but two dudes did. Cole and Clivis. CNC, the guys from CNC Music Factory, produced that song. Again, dudes again. But that's what Lifetime does, right? Like, especially if it involves black men. It's like, oh no, we can't have these guys be positive. Oh no, positive black men, no. Come on, man. So Lisa's wrong, but I think this is good for Full Force, because I think we haven't honored Full Force enough. I know BT has the Icon Award, and maybe they a little bit, because Full Force came out like 40 years ago. And these award shows hate giving out awards to artists from decades ago. But I think Full Force deserves an Icon Award for their music production, for their influence. Because what, UTFO, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, Lisa, their own stuff. And then the House Party movies, with Kid and Play. Like Full Force is really a big part of the culture that we never talk about. So I hope that BET ends up giving them some type of award down the road, some kind of Icon Award or something like that. But this is why I get upset, because I think once upon a time, when BET went into the Tyler Perry business, I was upset by that, because I felt like they went full Tyler Perry and it kind of got rid of some of the things that was working for them. They had the New Edition story was fantastic. That biopic on New Edition was amazing. And then they had the Bobby Brown story, which wasn't as good, but it was still really good. And I figured, wow, there's so many stories that BET could tell. This is great. But then they went to the Tyler Perry business and they gave Tyler everything. So now they just show reruns of Valiant Matters and Fresh Prince and Martin, and then all Tyler Perry stuff. And it's like, you can still show Tyler Perry stuff, but you could also show like biopics done by other people. Even when they had that documentary, like Inside the Label, and they talked about like Rough Riders, and I think Cash Money and No Limit. I think it's like it's that thing was fantastic too. But BET, old school BET, I think they would have done a Full Force biopic, which would have been great. But I don't know who's going to do it now. Like even with TV One, they did an unsung on Full Force, but I don't know if TV One does as many documentaries that they used to. So yeah, we're losing a lot. Like our black channels are not preserving the history as it should. How many more seasons of the Oval can I watch? Where there's so many other stories that can be told about real people. So I hope that Full Force start getting some love. And do yourself a favor, go down the rabbit hole, go on YouTube and watch some old Full Force videos. And I'm sure you like some of their stuff if you haven't heard them in a long time. But back to Lisa. Lisa, you're wrong. You're wrong, girl. I don't care what you say. It's too late to fix it because the movie's already done. But I would love to ask her, like, I know it's your story, but these guys are so integral to your story. How can you leave them out? Even the title, Can You Feel the Beat? The Lisa Story. Can You Feel the Beat was produced and written by Full Force. There would be no Lisa without those guys. I still like her though, man. I still like Let the Beat Hit 'Em. I still like Head to Toe. I still like All Cried Out. Still love I Wonder If I Take You Home. Those big bazooms, as my mom said. So shout out to Lisa for her artistry. But as a friend, nah, you did them dirty.